Alright guys, welcome back to What If a Cell Junior Survived. Where we last left off, Kibble spit up Cell. Now things are gonna get really interesting. With that being said, let's get started. We cut to Cell, teleports to Monster Island. There is where all the other Cell Juniors are, except for Kibble, of course. Cell looks down, annoyed that they didn't grow up, but they're all excited to see him. They thought he was dead, so they all hug him. Then he realizes something. The reason Kibble grew up was because he had himself inside of him. That he was in there. And with his DNA, and with his body regrowing, it had her grow to new heights. But since they weren't grown up, they weren't really gonna be any use to him. So, he stabbed one with his tail, absorbing him. Perfect Cell really couldn't absorb people, but he managed to train and learn himself to do so. Because he needed to do this if he was going to become much stronger. The other Cell Juniors were horrified. Why would their father do this? Why would their father come back after all these years just to absorb him? And as Cell did it, since Cell Juniors were made up a part of his DNA, it was similar to how Piccolo fused with Kami. He could feel his power multiply instead of being added onto. This was amazing. He absorbed another and another. As they screamed in pain and agony, Cell just absorbed all of them. As he became Ultimate Cell, 17 saw this, and his power was now below Ultimate Cell. However, Ultimate Cell still wasn't strong enough to take on Goku, Vegeta, and everyone. So, as 17 walked up, he said, "Why would you do this, Cell? I know you're a bad guy, but they were your kids." Cell looked over and said, they didn't grow well. They're a disappointment. There's only one kid who even grew up. And she disappointed me too by becoming friends with all of you. Really, all of you are disappointments. As he said, teleporting away to a planet with no oxygen so he could train. We cut back to Kibble. Kibble would be training with Jinx, having him unlock his Super Saiyan forms recently, having him be pushed and get stronger. But she knew what she had to do. She said, "You could become a lot stronger if you train with Beerus." So, why haven't you sent me to his planet? Is he mean? No. She looks away embarrassed. He, ever since we started dating, he started to view you as his son, and he's kind of being weird about it. Weird, huh? What does that mean? You'll see. She nods. As Beerus arrives and goes, "How is my kid?" Giving him a gift. And he opens it up, and it's a toy. He's like, I'm a teenager now. "Well, it's still a good gift," he says. "It's a collectible. Worth a lot of money," he says awkwardly. As he just sighs and says, "I guess. Well, can you train me?" Beerus looks at him and goes, "I'll get Whis to train you, and I'll get to spend time with you. Maybe I'll even teach you to blow up a planet like your old man." He laughs, walking away, and Kibble just looks at him like, "We're not even married, what the hell?" But, not much you can do. Beerus is Beerus. Anyway, as all this was going on, a time machine came through with future Trunks. As he got up, he saw Goku and Vegeta, and he began to sigh with relief. But then, as Jinx went off to train on Beerus' world, Kibble would show up and say, "Oh, it's you. I think I've heard about you." Future Trunks would then pull out his sword and charge at her, but she would punch him, knocking him out, and say, "Oh, sorry, reflex." He would wake back up, and he would explain, "Kibble, is that her name? Well, I don't know how, but she's in my timeline, and she's pure evil." Everyone would be shocked. That's impossible. After all, Cell was killed in the future timeline. There's no way he survived long enough to birth out Kibble. Maybe he did right before he died, like in this timeline. I mean, it's unlikely, but I guess it's possible. However, suddenly a portal would open up, as suddenly, future Kibble would go through it. As present Kibble went up, and she smirked, looking at her. Well. It seems we finally get to meet." She says, "What's the deal with this? Why are you doing this?" She says, "To make a perfect utopia, of course." Then they both begin to battle. And as they battled, present Kibble was far stronger. However, future Kibble was getting stronger with each punch, with each blow that pushed her through and made her push further with her godly potential. However, she would get sucked back through the time portal. Everyone was confused on how they went through, and no one really had any answers, so it was time they called Whis so they can get Beerus and Whis' opinion on it. Bulma would call Whis, as Whis was trained in drinks, but light training compared to Goku and Vegeta, since, Beerus wants him to have special treatment. As suddenly, he got a call. He would answer it, and Bulma would explain everything. They began to go over there, since time travel was a very big offense, and someone, looking like her, doing all this shocked Beerus. Who could this be? Could it be her from the future? Beerus was intrigued, but he was also excited because if it was her from the future, he could have 2 girlfriends. Eventually, though, they would arrive on Earth, and as they arrived, they would ask for the situation, and then they would nod. However, they couldn't sense his energy, so Beerus and Whis didn't sense his energy, so they didn't know it was similar to Zamasu. Therefore, they would never visit that universe. At least, not right now. As Beerus and Whis were intrigued about this, we knew we had to get back there, so as Bulma started to fix the time machine, Piccolo had an idea. He was going to have his attention awakened by the Dragon Ball so he could help, and he was going to train Gohan more. Maybe he could push him further. Meanwhile, the time machine was fixed, and Kibble, Vegeta, and Goku all went into the time machine ready to fight this Kibble from the future. As they all went through, the Kibble was looking down upon them as all 3 of them flew up. Kibble laughed. "Are you ready for a rematch?" The future Kibble said yes. As she turned rosé, her form was vibrant, her body pink and luscious. The beauty was outstanding as it blinded them. Vegeta said, "What the hell is that?" "It is my rosé form. Are you ready to fight?" Kibble turned into her god form and began to battle her, but future Kibble was too strong. But Goku and Vegeta both got involved, all 3 of them charging, as future Trunks stayed to the ground. But suddenly, they felt a ki blast. As Vegeta was hit from the back, he looked and he saw Zamasu. "Who the hell are you?" "I am Zamasu, the Supreme Kai, and the man with the plan for the Project Zero Mortals." Zero Mortals? They were all confused. However, the confusion was going to have to wait because they were getting beat up. Kibble Rosé was far stronger than Goku Black ever was, but that didn't really happen, so they didn't know, but they were getting pushed back pretty hard. And there was nothing they could do. She was just too strong, too powerful. As Goku, Vegeta, and Kibble all looked like they're gonna die, Trunks looked at this and got angry. He realized it was all his fault. He got back to the time. He messed up the timeline again and again and again. This pushed him to his rage form, as he threw him into the time machine and began to battle to distract them, as they all went back in time. As they went back in time, Piccolo greeted them and asked what happened. They would explain everything, and Beerus and Whis would decide to go check on Zamasu, while Piccolo had an idea. Piccolo would then turn orange, as everyone was shocked. "This power, with it you could win," Kibble said. "Yeah, but I need to make sure, in case they get stronger, because they can grow during battle," you said. "Gohan has more potential than any of us. I'll train them in the time chamber. You wait here." Piccolo brought Gohan and began to train him for the time chamber and push himself beyond what he thought was possible. He trained for months and months on end until finally he unlocked his beast form. As Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan went out, they were ready to go back into the time machine. Kibble said good luck. Piccolo said, "I don't need luck." As they went back, Kibble Black, or Kibble Rosé, was standing there as they both went out, and she began to laugh. "Is that it? Wow. Piccolo and Gohan, that is who you're gonna send?" That's just an embarrassment. But then Piccolo turned orange and Gohan turned beast, and she walked back scared. Kibble Rosé knew what she had to do. "I had no idea you guys had this much power, or I would have taken one of your bodies. However, it still won't matter. I will still surpass you." She used a technique to grow ears, as her and Zamasu fused into one perfect Zamasu. As they began to laugh, at Gohan and Piccolo, at them, because they're nothing compared to their perfect beauty. Even if they are stronger, they're immortal. But Gohan and Piccolo had an idea as they blasted a mighty ki blast in their face. And Perfect Zamasu blasted a ki blast at their face. It was an epic beam struggle. They struggled with everything they had, but the beams went through, hitting them and launching them into the sun, where they were trapped forever. Gohan and Piccolo both turned back to their base forms. As Mai smiled and brought out future Trunks, it seemed everything was happy. It seemed like they saved a day. However, we cut to Cell, who's training. Suddenly, Captain Ginyu in Broly's body would walk up to him saying, "Hello, would you be interested in joining the Ginyu Force?" And that's where I leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I know I am. And yeah, things are going to get interesting. Captain Ginyu and Cell, unlikely team up. How do you think that's going to go? Let me know in the comments below. Peace out.